Welcome back, investors, to the Investing with Our YouTube channel. This week's video is going to be summarizing the third week of December. And what do we see here? Finally, a green week. So we ended last week on 131,957, and we end this week on 133,067 pounds for a gain of 0.8%, which equates to just over 1,100 pounds. As we've been seeing for quite a while, a bit of turbulence, but we ended the week with a solid rise from Wednesday onwards. So hopefully we see the Christmas rally or the December rally that we normally see in historic months. Now, it's really good to see some positivity within the markets and some green. If we go over to the weekly profit and loss, the star performer this week was Carnival Cruises, which was up over 20% and also had a really strong week last week where it was up 6.6%. So maybe people within the market were hearing that it was due to have a very strong quarter. And that's what it did do. So Carnival Cruise Lines, which is a company I've been owning since the pandemic, it was a solid business and it was disrupted mainly by the pandemic. And share price at one point was about £50 a share. And it's currently trading at £23.13. My position is 324 shares with an average cost of £10.34. So I'm up almost 125%, and it has moved to becoming my biggest performer overall within the portfolio, which is no mean feat when I've got companies like Nvidia, Broadcom, Google, which had a fantastic year so far. So it's really crazy to see that a cruise operator is the biggest performer. Now, going back to the headline, Carnival Cruise Lines beats Q4 profit forecast in record year, and it also reinstates its dividend. So this has now become a dividend stock for me, which I wasn't expecting for about maybe a year. So it's really performing well. It's taken a grip of the debt that it took on when the pandemic occurred through no real fault of its own. It was just because everything closed down, then they couldn't operate. And that's why they had to take on this large amount of debt, but it's paying it off and to a level where it can now reinstate its dividend. So it's really, really good to see. So if we look at some of the highlights, so adjusted net income of $454 million or 34 cents per share was up over 140% compared to last year. So really, really solid performance. And from their company statement, it says Carnival's 2026 advanced bookings remain in line with 2025 record levels at historical high prices in constant currency for both North America and Europe. The momentum is carrying into 2026, which is shaping up to surpass even these remarkable results with another year of double-digit earnings growth and return on invested capital expected to exceed 13.5%. So with that in mind and a dividend also being paid of 15 cents a share, the guidance being given, I will be keeping my holding within this company now, which was potentially up for trimming or cutting because it's done so well. But with this guidance, I'm going to be keeping it. Now, the other star performer has been Tesla recently. As you can see, there's been quite a lot of volatility within the overall portfolio, but one constant for the last month has been Tesla, which is up 7.83% 4 weeks ago, then 5.68%, then 0.27%, and now another 5% this week. And it's hitting very solid highs of $482. If you look at my position, my average price is $209, so I'm up almost 120% on this stock. So it's one that's performing really well. It had a video last week which had a robo-taxi with no one in it for the first time. Recently, it's been testing it with a Tesla technician within it, but this is the first time where it's been out on the road without anyone in it. And these are very solid signs and very good signs for Tesla going forward. So overall for the week, more green than red, which is a good sign to see. And hopefully a lot of the volatility that we've seen in recent weeks is now in the past for at least up until January, mid-February, and hopefully we see a run up there. Now, if you've enjoyed the visibility on my portfolio so far and you're enjoying the updates, please, if you can, give this video a quick like so other people can see it. It really does help with the channel growth, which motivates me more to keep these videos up. And also, if you want to see up-to-date movements within my portfolio and some of my thoughts, then follow me on my Substack. And it's nice to see the growth there as well. If we look at the overall positions within the portfolio, Google still remains my largest holding at just over 14%. I have been trimming this periodically to try and reduce that number, but it's trading at all-time highs, so I'm taking the opportunity to trim it down a bit. Robinhood up just under 8%. Meta equates to almost 8.5% of my portfolio. It's one that I'm bullish on, especially with the recent drop. Imperial Brands up just over 75% for a 3.5k gain. Carnival, as mentioned earlier, the star performer, I'm up over £4,000 within this position and represents 5.65% of the overall portfolio. And with the guidance being given and the reinstatement of the dividend, this is one I'm not going to be trimming as of now, but let's see what the future holds. Visa had a nice solid week and we're now up just over 12% on this holding. MasterCard getting close to that 10% position. Tesla, we mentioned earlier, with this very solid run in the last month, up just under 120%. Microsoft up just over £1,200. Nvidia up just under 65%. Broadcom up just under 75%. And now we see a bit of red in the insurance companies with Oscar Health down just under 8% and United Health down just over 6%. Amazon, hopefully it sees a good solid year. This is the worst performer within the Mag 7 this year. And some people are saying that it's in a similar position to Google earlier in the year and it's coiling up for a run next year. So hopefully that happens. Grab down just over 17%. IREN and BMNR, two positions. I'm just going to have to ride out the volatility and hopefully they see a recovery in 2026. Centrica up just over 50%. HIMS down just under 40%. Again, this is a company that's been launching a lot of products and increasing its presence in certain markets. So hopefully this has a good year next year. Apple up just under 38%. Costco up just under 6%. KLA hitting the almost 50% profit mark, one of my smaller holdings, and also ASML up 25%. So this is the overall portfolio. Just to summarize, £133,000. Nice to see a green week and hopefully they continue. Thank you for joining me on this video and I'll see you on the next one.